Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we want to give you a little update on the production building behind me. We're kind of actually standing a bit in the woods and Brenna is out running around. So if you hear a bunch of leaves crunching, it's just Brenna. But we have to come over here so that you can see the roof of the new building that we're going to use up at production. No worries, Jerry is going to throw the drone up so you can really get the bird's eye view of everything that we're going to talk about. But we just wanted to give you kind of, like I said, an update on what has happened thus far. Jerry and I were actually in Illinois for the past 2 days attending a Proven Winners event. So we were not here when the fellas put on the roof. So I don't have any footage of what actually happened because they were too busy working and we weren't here to film. But we are back now, and so we want to just give you an update on what has happened. So basically, when we were here last, they were just starting to put the OSB on the trusses. So we have that OSB to give that nice, good structure to the roof, because we are going to be using a metal roof on here. Once they got the OSB down, all the way down on the edge, horizontally, right? So the very tip of the roof, that is where they put, it's the waterproofing and the ice shield. So that's on the bottom, and it's like, I don't know what, 3 feet wide, maybe roughly 3 feet wide. So that runs as a strip all the way down on the bottom, because that is at the end and you don't want any water coming back. Then on top of that, they put geofab paper, which is maybe old-timey, we think of like tar paper. So that is what waterproofs the whole roof. So right now it is a waterproof roof. So even if we get rain, that geofab paper keeps the water from going down into the OSB. Now what they did on top of that, because we are using a metal roof, they had to come in and put some 2x4s, like a framework, if you will, for that metal roof to attach to, because we will screw in the metal roof to those 2x4s. So they did basically kind of a grid pattern. So you've got these horizontal of all the 2x4s going across, and then we can come over here. You can start to see that there is a bit of an overhang on the ends. That is because we will have the roof, you know, you'll have a little bit of a, what do they call that? An eave, where it comes off to the side. So it comes off maybe a foot, 18 inches off of the side. So that way we'll have a little bit of a protection there. And then of course everything will get boxed in. So it'll be nice and waterproof, critter proof, so we don't get critters trying to go up into the roof. We had a couple people ask last time when we were up here doing an update. They were like, oh, I hope you leave, you know, the trusses exposed in here. And we are seriously considering it. This is not going to be by any means like a fancy, like super, you know, nice, right? This is production in a nursery after all. So we do certainly do like that rustic look to it. But if you can just, it just looks so good. And it just looks so nice and all put together. Of course, the end right now is still exposed. We'll have siding on that, so the sun is able to come in right now and give us lots of good warmth in here. But this building, remember, it is 22 feet wide and 78 feet long. This is going to have multi-purpose use to it. So starting in January is when we first get our first round of annuals that we will pot up. Please, Lord, fingers crossed, we will have our potting machine in plenty of time for that to happen. We're going on almost a year now that we've been waiting on this potting machine to arrive. It's still not here. But the potting machine can be either in here. We're also thinking about possibly having it come in the back of the dry storage area. So this way we can pot up all of our plants in a nice kind of weatherproof area. Because Jerry and I, when we first started out, I mean, we were potting plants. We have potted plants in every kind of weather you could ever imagine, whether it being extremely hot or extremely cold and snowy and ice. We have done it all. So to have it in here in a protected, climate controlled area is going to be a beautiful thing. So this way we can come in here, we can pot up plants year round, whether it's in January or July, and be protected from the elements of the weather. So we will use it in that fashion, because remember, all 3 units, the dry storage and the 2 production houses, will have a covered doorway from that house into production. Because this, where you see these beams, this will all be a solid wall, and there will be little doorways that we can, one, drive machinery through. So we'll have lots of good access that we can come in here and turn with the trailers, with the Polaris, with Johnny, whoever, and come in here and just work. Once we get shipping and we go into that venture, a couple of y'all have been asking about that. Once we get into shipping, this will also be that area where we can, box the plants up, get them ready to be shipped. UPS, FedEx, whoever, when they come pick them up, can easily access this. We can load up the trucks and off they go. So depending on the time of year, depending on what is going on in the life of Creekside at that moment, we will be able to use this space accordingly. Each end will have doors. Whether we do a garage style door that goes up, or if we do like barn doors that slide side to side, that is to be determined. Jerry is concerned about like a garage door because he doesn't want to lose head clearance, especially on this end. So we want to have and maximize our space as much as possible. So that's kind of the update here at the production area. But just to have it nice and neat and tidy and kind of cleaned in, it is fantastic. We are going to have a concrete floor in here. The guys are set to come December the 6th. So they will come and we will have this whole 22 by 78 will be concrete. We will have concrete that comes off of the production houses. That will be all concrete. We are going to go ahead and while they are here, we are going to have them concrete production number 1, because this was our first, we call it production 1 because it was the first greenhouse we built. We're very original how we name our things. So production 1 will have a concrete floor as well. When we first started, we were all just doing gravel on the floor of the greenhouses. But kind of once you go to concrete, it's really hard to go back to gravel because you can clean it really well. The plants sit flat on the concrete. It's easier to walk on. And then too, with us shipping, we need to be able to have access that we can easily roll carts. Like when we're picking our plants, we need that to be able to roll carts. So just imagine that all 3 houses are concrete. You have the concrete pad that comes in. This is all concrete, neat, tidy, clean, efficient, easily you can roll things around on. So yeah, that's kind of the update here. Next after, so December 6th is concrete, and then Jerry's behind the camera. What is before or after that as well?
It's a plumbing, and we're going to bring plumbing in here and electrical in here for concrete.
Okay, so we've got to get plumbing in here, electrical in here before they do the concrete.
Metal was ordered today for the roof.
Excellent, and he ordered the metal roofing today, so that will be very nice. And what's great is when we order that metal roofing, you can tell them the length that you want it. So it'll be 1 sheet from tip to tip of the roof, and then you just have multiple ones as you go down. So that way we don't have to worry about piecing them halfway through. It'll be one nice long piece for each all the way down. So that is fantastic, and I think we went with silver, the color.
It's like a smoke gray.
Smoke gray. Excellent. And speaking of smoke gray, this makes me think, several of you also have asked, because you notice that we are relatively pretty close to the wood line right here. And a couple people have asked, why did we make this building so skinny and long? Why didn't we, move out? And the simple reason is, no, it is not a property line issue, because this all belongs to the family. So this is all of our woods. But these are gorgeous, old, mature. Most of them are oak trees, but we've got some tulip poplars in there. We have got just gorgeous hardwood woods, and my daddy refinished furniture. That was what he did. He was self-employed, and so he then turned into woodworking, where he would make furniture. And so I am a professed wood snob, and my daddy instilled in me that we don't cut trees down unless it's necessary. And this is not necessary that we cut those trees down. We have got plenty of open space, of course, in front of the greenhouses. In that area, if we want to expand, we will expand that way. We also have some more cleared land behind these woods. So if we wanted to go that direction, we certainly could do that. But yeah, we're not one just to go willy-nilly and cutting down trees just for the fun of it. So we limbed up these trees to give us protection on this building, but those hardwoods are going to stay, and let that forest continue to be nice and mature and give protection for the wildlife and make it a beautiful spot. Now, what we're going to do, Brenna is so excited to be to be outside with us, because we've had some rainy days, and then with us being gone and out of town, she hasn't been able to film videos, and this dog does love being outside and gardening and filming videos. So she was so excited to come outside with us. So, and of course the cool weather, right? She is a German Shepherd. The colder, the better, in her opinion. She does not like hot weather. She loves it cold. So what we're going to do is I want to come down here because I want to implore for some of your help, because as you know, we are working on the berm, right? And we have been landscaping the berm, and there are certain things in that berm where I'm like, okay, I know exactly that, these plants are going to go in this spot. Well, if you remember back at the end of the summer, early fall, we were blessed that both Walter's Gardens and Spring Meadow sent us a whole slew of perennials and shrubs. And I have been pulling from this inventory to do a lot of the stuff in the berm. Well, I still have some things left over that I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put these. So I can put them in the berm, I can put them in the backyard, and I can put them in the display gardens at the nursery. So I just kind of wanted to walk through, show you what I have, kind of tell you what I think I'm going to do, but also if you have some ideas or some suggestions on where some things can go, I would love to hear it, because a couple of you have already said, like today, somebody was telling me about using a black smoke bush in with the Night Moves loropetalum. Thought that was a great idea. So we're just going to run down real quickly. If you don't remember the exact plants that we're going to talk about, check out the video link above for the perennials. I will have both those perennials and shrub videos in the video description. So we're just going to talk about them real briefly. So first of all, I have got a ton of the Japanese anemone. This is the Fall in Love Sweetly, and yes, there we go. Tag for you. These are most definitely going to go in the berm because they are a beautiful fall flower. That gorgeous double pink bloom on it. They do love the full sun, and I have got a good number of them. I want to either plant them in one mass or two masses. I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 9 or 10 of them. So these are going to be like a medium size. When they're from spring into summer, they're going to be small, right? They're going to be short. They're going to be nice and green, but in the fall is when they do those nice tall plumes of those double blooms. So I've got those. Then I've got these two echinacea. Now I think I know where the echinacea are going to go, but my problem with the echinacea is that it is November. Thanksgiving is next week, less than a week away, and this is not the primo time to plant echinacea because echinacea like it really hot. If you will remember, I planted a bunch of echinacea in the backyard beds. It was July the 1st, and they did wonderful. I have got with me though, I have got the fuchsia is bright, which is here. I know you're like, Jimmy, they're like ugly plants. I know, it's November, and it froze last night too. And then I have got butter pecan. This is the double coated butter pecan. I'm pretty sure that these are going to go down closer to the North Poles, and the fuchsia is bright, as you can see, is taller than the butter pecan. So I think I'm going to mix those together. Put the fuchsia is bright in the back, butter pecan in the front. Now, my question is that in my brain, and I've talked with Kata from Walters about this, November is not the primo time to plant them because it's cold. They like it hot. My thing is they're going to be more insulated in the ground than they are in the containers. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to go ahead and plant them and just hope and pray that they their roots get established and they will survive, because they're going to be better off in the ground than they are in the pot. So we've got those two echinaceas that we have left to plant. And when I do plant them, I will go ahead and trim all this back. Typically with echinacea, once they're established, you can leave those seed heads on. I'm going to go ahead and cut this back so it's less plant for the roots to maintain, so that way it'll help a little bit. We've got some more perennial sedums. This is the Rock and Round Pure Joy. So help me think of a nice spot, a location in the berm that needs it really dry, lots of good sun, and well draining. So we've got a couple of those. They will be, we got 5 of those, really fun. We've got Monarda. This is the upscale red. This is going to be new. Monarda, of course, loves it sunny. It does like a more damp, moist area, but massive pollinator attractor, especially with this red. The hummingbirds will just love this. Pollinators love it as well. Full sun, so it'll go great in the berm. But the upscale is going to be a little bit of a larger size, almost 3 feet tall. And you can see, like, this has been sitting outside and it has had multiple freezes on it, and still nice, kind of is changing some colors. We've got some green in there, and you can tell this desperately needs to get in the ground. Really, really needs to get in the ground, get established, and it will be happy for sure. But again, not sure on my exact placement on that one either. I've got the Agastache. I have got both the, these are the new Mint to Be series. I've got the Queen Nectarine and the Fuchsia one, which I never can remember this one, what the name of it is, but it's the Mint to Be series. So these, the Queen Nectarine is going to be a little bit taller than the Fuchsia. Really great attractors. Those are going to go in as well. But of course, I'm thinking of, when I do it, is that I like to do, especially in the berm, like mass plantings, because that bed is so huge and most people are going to see it from a distance. You're not going to be like really on top of it. So when you're planting a big space that people see more from a distance, you want to put those plants together so it looks like one huge mass and it really stands out. So when I'm doing this, I want to think of big groups of plants together with that. So that's the perennials that I have left. So I've been doing pretty good with the perennials, and I have been doing pretty well with the shrubs as well. However, you can see I've got some roses of Sharon in here. I've got, oh, this is it. This is the one that we were just talking about, the smoke bush. This is the Winecraft Black. Now, yes, I realize it is fully sticks right now. Again, we have gone through multiple freezes, but this the smoke bush, which is black, is going to be comparable. Remember, we just planted the Winecraft Gold, so the Winecraft Black, where I need something for it to pop off of it. And that's where one of you viewers were like, do like a white loropetalum. So the Night Moves is that variegated, but has the white flowers on it. So this way it'll pop off of that. So that is a great option as well. I do have some of the mock oranges. However, I think the mock oranges are going to be in too much sun there. So we're gonna have to put them in a more protected location because they would do really well with like morning sun and afternoon shade, because we are on the border of our zones for being too warm. So with this one, I need to find a spot where we can get morning sun and afternoon shade. So we've got those. And then azaleas. I've still got more azaleas over here. The Perfecto Mundo series. This is a really, really fun one. It will be new next year. This is Perfecto Mundo Pink Carpet. Now, pink carpet has those perfect, like baby doll, soft pink flowers on it. And what's fun about this is, just like carpet, it's going to be very short but wide. So it will be only 1 to 2 feet tall, but like almost 2 to 3 feet wide. This will be just a great addition, and I've got 3 of them, so if I plant them pretty close together, they really will grow together and look like pink carpet. And the Perfecto Mundos are great because they bloom for 3 times: spring, summer, and fall. They were blooming just the other day, clearly, the 28-degree last night. I know it got down to 28, probably got colder than that. It kind of zapped them. So right now they're looking a little rough. So we've got that, and then we also have the Perfecto Mundo, where did it go? This is the orange. I'm trying to find one with a tag for you. I know how much y'all love looking at these tags. And any of these plants that you want more information on, feel free to go to provenwinners.com and just type in the name, and it'll pop up and it will give you all of your specs. But the Perfecto Mundo orange, now this is not like Clemson orange at all. It leans a little bit more towards the red side of the family, and this is going to be 2.5 feet tall, 3 to 4 wide. So I need a spot nice and low and wide. I'm thinking it will be on the nursery side of the berm, because on the house side of the berm, I already have the Perfecto Mundo, the epics, and those are in the pink families. So this will be kind of that orangey red family. So I'm thinking somewhere on the nursery side. So I've got multiples of those that we can put in there as well. Some more of the shrubs. I've got these shrubs, like the lemony lace elderberry, and then I've got the dogwood. This is the Golden Shadows dogwood, and then all of the different types of cypress. So we have the pinpoint blue and gold false cypress. I've got 3 of these. These will be gorgeous trees. We are on the border of being too warm for them. All of these, which is great, and that's why when Spring Meadows sent me the list, that's why I chose these, because I can test them out. Before I buy a huge massive quantity of them to sell at the nursery, I need to know if they really will work here, because these are like hardy to zone 7. We're a 7B, and we are in the south, so that's a whole different ball game. All of these will need morning sun and afternoon shade, which is, those places here are kind of limited, so I have to find the right spot for them. But what is not limited, what does need lots and lots and lots of good sun, are the butterfly bushes. Now, I've already put in the Pugster pinkers, right? We did a mass planting of those. But I also have 2 of the Lo and Behold pink microchip. This is going to be a little bit bigger than the Pugsters. It is still in that beautiful pink family, so the colors will blend really, really well together. Butterfly bushes, of course, love the sun. They love it dry. They do not like having wet feet. They don't like to have really organically rich soil. They really like to kind of be in terrible soil, which works out pretty good. Hardy in zones 5 to 9. These are going to be, it says 2 by 2, but we have found that the Lo and Beholds will be a little bit bigger than that, than the Pugsters. But again, it will blend really well having those Pugsters and then having those 2 Lo and Beholds in there as well. I've got the Vino Verde, Weigela, and let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, I think those are the main ones that we have left. So I'm just trying to go through my brain, because the sooner I can get, especially these shrubs, in the ground. Here we are going till the end of November, Thanksgiving this next week. The sooner I can get these in the ground, then the better established their root systems are going to be next year when the heat hits in the summer. So if you are in the south, southeast, you have got tons of time to be planting things in your garden, because our ground never really freezes. We can be planting pretty much year round. This is a great time of year. It's cooler, we're getting consistent rain. You put those plants in the ground, whether they're a shrub, a tree, a perennial, and their roots are going to do lots of good growth during this time. You're not really going to see any or at all growth on the top, totally fine, but what's happening underneath, that's the important step, because those roots are getting happy, getting established before the summer heat hits. And that is what is a big deal for us here in the South. So you have got plenty of time. Go visit your local garden center and, you know, talk with them, tell them your ideas, your plans, show them pictures, give them measurements, and say, this is my space, this is what I want to do. And I know that they will be more than happy to help you. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. I just kind of wanted to give you a bit of an update on the production building, how that is going, these plants, to pick your brain on some ideas of where to stick them. So if you've got ideas, please put them in the comments below, because y'all have some of the better ideas and things that I don't even think about, or pairings to put together. I would love to hear from you. So shoot me all your ideas. I would love to hear it. And that way I can get my brain going and get these babies in the ground here in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned, because Jerry's going to throw the drone up so you can see how the production building is going, and you can see how much the leaves have dropped off here in North Carolina. It's like, man, we had gorgeous color for a long time, and now, man, the leaves have started to fall. So as always, we so appreciate you. Thank you for all your love and support. Y'all have a great day, and as always, thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.